going on, baseball fans? How you doing? Welcome to tonight's stream where I talk about my top 10 MLB Trade Deadline candidates. Let's get to it. What's going on, baseball fans? How are we doing? Hello. I'm seeing 88 people in the chat. What is going on? Hope all is well. Hope all is healthy. Hope everyone's fed, I guess. Hope everyone ate tonight. We got some baseball on the TV right now. My Red Sox are losing 3-0. But yeah, hope everyone is doing well. We have had a crazy week this week with the channel. I'll get to that here in a second. But again, I hope everyone is doing well. A lot of familiar faces. I'm seeing a lot of new names. I'll get to that here in a second. But yeah, good to see everyone here. We got 90 people now in the chat. But yeah, tonight, so usually I'm doing my power rankings every Sunday night. I do my power rankings. And I figured I did my mid-season power, and they weren't really power rankings, I guess. They weren't the normal way I usually do them. But I did my kind of like my mid-season grades, I guess, of where I think every team is at, whether they're like a World Series contender or a playoff team, just missing the playoffs and so on. So I figured for tonight, well, since I just posted that video the other day, I'll do something different tonight. So I figured, why not? We have the trade deadline now. It is July 18th. We got less than 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. So I'm going to go over my top 10 players who I think could be traded this year. These aren't really, they aren't ranked based off of how likely they're to be traded, I think, but I'm just going to rank them based off of, you know, how much of a game changer they can be for a team. So before I get started, let me just kind of do a couple of things here. If you are new, hit that subscribe button for me, hit the like button, the bell button, share the stream if you can, and yeah, we will get right to it. But everyone, real quick, we have had a heck of, hold on, where is it real quick? I have lost my picture. Anyway, I'll come back to you guys here. We have had a heck of a week this week. Unbelievable week. We have gained a ton of subscribers this week. We hit 10,000 subscribers the other day. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I started this channel, you know, over a year ago. Didn't expect it to go anywhere. And hey, it's really taken off lately. So anyone that has subscribed recently, I want to say thank you for just clicking on that button. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone that's been here for, you know, a while now. Hey, we've been doing these streams now for so long, and hey, thank goodness the YouTube algorithm has picked up some of my videos to get out there. And but yeah, so very appreciated, everyone. I appreciate everyone coming out. Hey, the goal for this channel was to just get out there, talk about baseball more with people, and yeah, start more conversation with people. So without further ado, let's get to the list. So again, I'm going to go over my top 10 trade deadline candidates. I'm going to start off with an honorable mention. So first up, I have Trevor Story. So Trevor Story I have as an honorable mention, mainly due to the fact that I don't know if Trevor Story is going to get traded or not. I mean, it's been, I feel like, for a while now where we've thought, hey, Trevor Story, I mean, this guy's in the last year of his deal. Is he going to be able to, you know, or what team is he going to end up going to? I mean, this is like Trevor Story. This is one of the better shortstops in the game. So let's go take a look at some Trevor Story numbers real quick here. All right, sharing the screen. Alrighty, so Trevor Story, if we go take a look at the stats real quick. So Trevor Story is not having the typical Trevor Story kind of a year. A 246 average, that's pretty low. 320 on base, 433 slugging is decent. But he has 11 home runs on the year, 42 RBIs. He's still going to provide something, but I actually want to go take a look real quick at Fangraphs real quick. So Trevor Story he's going to give you, it will give you off. I mean, this year it's a bit of a down offensive year for him, but where I think Trevor Story can really help out a team that needs a shortstop or maybe even a second baseman. I'll talk about that here in a second, but Trevor Story is one of the better gloves at shortstop in the game right now. If you take a look at the defensive runs above average, 8.2. So he's going to improve your defense. Hey, good defense at shortstop. That's a hot commodity if you ask me. So Trevor Story is going to improve a lot of teams if he does get dealt. And the reason I only have him as an honorable mention, if we go take a look at baseball, whoa. Sorry about that. My microphone fell. I didn't even realize my microphone fell. Let me tighten this up a little bit. But the reason here I have Trevor Story as only, what is going on right now? Here we go. So I only have him as an honorable mention as of right now, mainly due to the fact that it might be hard to, try and trade for a Trevor Story. If we go take a look at the Colorado Rockies on baseball trade values real quick, let's take a look here. So Trevor Story, he has himself a pretty decent value as of right now, 15.6. So this actually was higher recently. This was in the 20s at one point, but because of that offense kind of being down this year, his value has gone down a smidge. But the question is, it's still a pretty decent value. That's going to be at least a couple of good prospects right there. So I'm wondering whether or not a team is going to want to pay up for a Trevor Story for only basically a rental. And the other reason is simply due to the fact that what team could really go for a Trevor Story as of right now? So let's go take a look at the stats. Oh, I'm seeing a super chat. I'm not sure if that popped up on the screen or not. Seattle Town M's, what is going on, my friend? Hello. Congrats on the subs. Can I get my weekly look at the Mariners since no rankings? Next weekend is huge. 2.5 back of Oakland and a 4-game set. Hey, Mariners are a fun team right now. I'm actually going to talk about the Mariners here in a little bit. I got one guy who I think maybe could be a good fit on the Seattle Mariners. Maybe a couple of guys on this list. So thank you again, Seattle Town M's. I really appreciate that. So taking a look at some teams that could use a shortstop right now. So if we take a look at Fangraphs, thank God Fangraphs, they have this all nicely laid out so I can just click on everything that I need. But taking a look at teams that really could use a shortstop. Well, Pittsburgh, no. I mean, Cincinnati, you could still do Cincinnati. And let me pull up the standings as of right now. So if we take a look at Cincinnati, they are second as of right now in the division. So you could have Cincinnati maybe. So that could make some sense. I feel like they could use more bullpen help at this point. I mean, what team could not couldn't use bullpen help at this point? But I feel like for Seattle, I feel like that offense is it's so good already. If you take a look at the division, they've scored the most runs in that division. It's the bullpen that's been the problem. Their starting pitching has actually been pretty decent. So you could have Cincinnati maybe go for Trevor Story. If you take a look elsewhere, I mean, Oakland was a team. But Oakland, I don't know if the prospects are there. Oakland's farm system has been running a bit thin. So I don't know about Oakland. I don't know if they're going to want to give up the prospects, especially if they're not really going to have a chance at re-signing him. But they are a possibility. The Rays, at one point I kind of wondered about the Rays, but, they started calling up some guys. So I don't know about them anymore. An interesting one, who I actually think this one team, though, we're talking about Oakland here a second ago. I wonder if the Angels might want to get in on it. The Angels, Jose Iglesias this year, I did like that signing, but Jose Iglesias this year, you would think the defense would be a lot better, but only a 0.2 defense for him as of right now. Let me actually go take a look at the defensive runs saved for him. And if we take a look here, Iglesias, where are you at right now? So Iglesias, defensive runs saved. I mean, he's got -6 defensive runs saved. So he's not really giving you much on the defensive side, which is very weird. He's going to be a free agent soon. I wonder if an upgrade of a Trevor Story at shortstop could actually help this Angels team. And another reason why I think this actually could help the Angels, if we go take a look at the Angels pitching. So the Angels, you know what? Let me actually go pull up all the teams. So everyone always thinks with the Angels, definitely in the past, I've definitely said this too, but everyone always kind of looks to the pitching first off, with the Angels. The Angels, their pitching. It's actually not as bad as you might think. Sure, that ERA is really high. It's a 4.90 as of right now. They rank 17th overall. When you look at just the ERA, Jameson Taillon coming off the mound. Hey, good start for Taillon today. But if you take a look at the ERA as of right now, the Angels don't rank very well. They rank 26 in Major League Baseball. However, if we take a look at the FIP, they actually rank a lot better in the FIP. So if we take a look here, the Angels currently, so they are 19th. It's better than where they rank with the ERA, but Trevor Story, I think his defense actually might help the Angels a bit. So if they can add some defense there, or if Iglesias can step it up, I think that would really help that team. Because if you take a look also at the fielding for the Angels, they don't rank very well. They rank 29th overall in fielding. Shortstop's been lackluster for them. The outfield is not great when it comes to just defense. It's pretty underwhelming if you ask me. So I don't know, maybe a Trevor Story, that glove out there could really help. So I don't know. I think Trevor Story for the Angels could be a pretty decent fit. If we take a look at some other teams, I mean, there's been talks of maybe Jeff Passan talked about maybe the White Sox being a possibility where you could put Story at second and you can keep Tim Anderson at short. So that's something to keep an eye on. The White Sox farm system, though, it is running a little thin. If we go take a look at the White Sox farm system as of right now on Fangraphs, the White Sox rank dead last when it comes to, we got a super chat coming in. Emiliano Brito with a $1.99 super chat. I like cereal. You know what? I like cereal too. I gotta say, man, I'm trying to think. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I think, has to be the greatest of all time when it comes to cereals. I mean, I don't think there's any debate on that, right? I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that was the best one. Cocoa Krispies, I loved those as a kid. I still love those. I was never really much of a Lucky Charm guy. You know what I liked, a pretty underrated cereal. Smacks, the Honey Smacks. Anyone in here a Honey Smacks guy? Guy or gal in the chat? Honey Smacks? I love those. I feel like no one ever talked about those, but those are always so good. But yeah, and that's another one. Yogi Dude. Honey Bunches of Oats. Hey, those can hit different sometimes. I'm kind of a mood guy when it comes to the cereal. I don't know. I got like a different flavor of the week, I feel like. But I feel like I always end up going back to Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Cocoa Krispies. Those are the ones for me. So, but let's get back here. So Trevor Story, there are some teams out there. I wonder if a team is going to want to splurge on a Trevor Story. I mean, he's got a 15.6 value. He's going to be a free agent soon. I don't know. I wonder if a team is going to want to give up the prospects for him. I don't know. Because there's also another thing to consider. The Rockies, they could offer him the qualifying offer in free agency, and if he ends up signing somewhere else, they'll get a draft pick out of it. So it's going to come down to the Rockies. Are they going to like the offers that they'll get back for a Trevor Story? If not, they can just go get that draft pick for him if they offer him the qualifying offer, which I think they will. I'm imagining he's going to turn it down. I don't think he'll go back on a one-year deal. So Trevor Story, that's why I only have him as an honorable mention as of right now. So let's get to the top 10 list. So like I said, Trevor Story, honorable mention for right now, but let's start off at number 10. Here we go. So at number 10, I have Nelson Cruz. I think Nelson Cruz could be a game changer kind of a bat. He's not going to cost a lot, and a team that could use a designated hitter, I mean, good grief. Nelson Cruz could be something for a lineup that's in need of some power, in need of some RBIs. So let's go take a look at some teams that could use a bat in that lineup. So if we go take a look here, So what are some teams that could use some offense? So if we go take a look at Fangraphs here, I mean, if you take a look, so again, mainly he's going to be an American League kind of a guy. He's not going to go play first base anywhere. But, I mean, there are some options. I mean, I don't know if the Indians would go for it. They already got Reyes there. I don't know if that's going to be a good fit for him. I wonder if the Twins would want to trade within that division. I wonder if a team like the White Sox, who I think they could find a fit for a Nelson Cruz somewhere. But would they want to send prospects back? I don't know. That's why teams don't like dealing with each other very much, especially if like a team is out of it. But like they don't want, a contending team in that division is not going to want to send prospects back to that team. So I don't know if a White Sox would be a good fit or not. Tampa Bay would be an interesting fit. I don't know. I mean, they already have Austin Meadows in that DH spot, but you could always move him to the outfield. I don't know. They're always moving guys around. That could be a pretty fun fit. Oakland, I think, could actually be a decent fit for a Nelson Cruz. If we go take a look here at the Athletics. So for a Nelson Cruz, I don't think that's really going to cost you a lot. If we go to baseball trade values here, let's go pull up Nelson Cruz. So Nelson Cruz, I believe he's only a 4.5 value. So he's worth $4.5 million. And so just also in case you're wondering, how does baseball trade values get this value? Let me actually go show you real quick. And if anyone is new to the channel, I want to just tell you baseball trade values. I see a lot of hate about this website, but let me actually just give you real quick, kind of just a rundown of this website real quick for anyone that's new. So real quick, baseball trade values, if you take a look here at the history. So as of right now, they have 199 real-life trades have gone through their algorithm, and their system has approved 96.5%. That's pretty good if you ask me. So just a quick rundown of that. So a lot of the teams, I've said this many times on this channel, a lot of teams use a very similar algorithm when it comes to valuing players. It's not going to be perfect by any means, but now just a real quick, just to give you a rundown of how these values come out. So basically it's what they do on the field. You calculate everything, wins above replacement, so on. But then you subtract their salary. So let's say a guy he's, he's giving you a value of $20 million based off of his performance. Let's say he's only getting paid $5 million. So 20 minus 5, his value would be 15. So that's how they get these values. So moving on to a trade for maybe a Nelson Cruz. I think for the A's, I just mentioned a second ago, the A's, they don't really have a big time farm system as of right now. If we go take a look, Athletics, top prospects, and I want to go take a look at their farm system on Fangraphs. If you take a look, Fangraphs as of right now, they rank them 27th in their farm system value. I mean, that's not very good if you ask me. So they have some guys though that could get this done. If we go take a look at some prospects here, so maybe someone like a Logan Davidson, number 5 prospect. I don't know if they would want to do that because the A's as of right now, I mean, Marcus Semien is no longer there. I don't know if they would want to do that, but they do have a Robert Pues in there as well. So let's maybe plug in a Pues in there. So here we go. Pues. He has a 4 value. So you're very close as of right there. You're very, very close. So maybe one more prospect gets this done for a Nelson Cruz. I could see something like this happening. So the A's, I think, would be a great fit. If we take a look at maybe some other teams, maybe in the American League, Toronto maybe, but nah, I don't see Toronto. Again, I could see a White Sox team. They've had some injuries, but Eloy Jimenez is going to come back soon. So I don't know. And then you could move Austin Vaughn back to that DH spot. So I don't know if the White Sox would want to do it. They could get it done. That's the beauty of a Nelson Cruz in this situation, though. He's not going to cost you a lot of prospects. So Nelson Cruz, I think, is an intriguing bat at this trade deadline. I actually want to pull up Nelson Cruz. Let me just pull up the stats real quick here. just to give you an idea of what you would be getting. And it's, same as usual for a Nelson Cruz. 18 home runs, a 305 average, a 930 OPS. This is a bat that a lot of teams would love to have. So that's where I'm at with a Nelson Cruz. I have him coming in at number 10. So moving into my next guy, we talked about Trevor Story earlier. I think this guy, he's not going to cost as much as a Trevor Story. I'm wondering if he ends up signing an extension with the current team. We'll have to wait and see. But the next guy I have on my list, Javier Baez. I think Javier Baez is someone to keep an eye out for at this trade deadline, mainly because Javier Baez, he's not going to cost as much as a Nelson Cruz. So let's go take a look at what Javier Baez is going to cost you. So right now, if we take a look here, let's go to the Cubs. And hey, the A's, the A's are a team, they could use a shortstop right now. Elvis Andrus, he's not really performing all that great this year. He's had his moments, but overall, Andrus has not been great. If we go take a look at a Javier Baez, so Trevor Story had a 15 value. Baez is only a 9.4 as of right now. So you could see Javier Baez go somewhere. I think more likely he could go somewhere. Let's go pull up some Javier Baez stats real quick. Javier Baez, he's just such an enigma of a player this year. He's giving you a ton of home runs, a ton of RBIs. He's even stealing bases, but the batting average is so low. The on base is incredibly low. He strikes out a ton, but he's still finding ways to produce. So I think a team would be very intrigued with a Javier Baez. I think for the A's, hey, we all know the A's, they like to get on base. That's kind of what their organization likes to live and die by. But Javier Baez, you got to think that would be a lot better than what Elvis Andrus is giving you this year. So this is something where I could maybe see something like this. I already kind of went through some teams. Could Javier Baez maybe go to the White Sox as well? Tim Anderson, Javier Baez there. The White Sox could use some power. They don't rank very, very well when it comes to home runs. I believe as of right now, they rank, 24th or 23rd in home runs right now. So they could use some more pop in that lineup, I think. So maybe a White Sox team could be a pretty decent fit. He can move over to second. But the A's, like I said, you could do the A's as well. If we take a look, I had a Place in there. The Cubs, they're trying to restock that farm system. But maybe you could throw in another guy like a Luis Barrera or a Jeff Criswell. Let's go maybe a Criswell. Let's throw a picture in there. And if we take a look here, Criswell, I believe he has a 2.6 value, so that might not get it done. That would put the value up to 6.6. Giovanni Narena has just subscribed. Hello, what's going on, my friend? Welcome. So maybe you could, I don't know, it's probably not, you're probably going to have to put something else in a Criswell. If I go back to the top prospects here, I don't know, let's go see maybe a Jeffries. I don't know, maybe a Dawson Jeffries. Let's go take a look. Where is he? I got to do this alphabetically. Here we go. Oh, I'm seeing another super chat that's going to pop up on the screen here in a second. Dylan Block has just subscribed. Hello, welcome. So, Jeffries, where are you at? So that's a 5.1 value. So that actually maybe could get it done. Let me take Criswell out of there. And then you're actually pretty close here. So if you want to take Javier Baez for a half a season, and if you're the A's, that's probably what it's going to cost you. And if we take a look, so that would be the number 4 and the number 6 prospects. There's the super chat coming in. Michael Yank, Story to the Oakland A's and Gallo to the Padres. Hey, Gallo and the Padres, they've been linked for what feels like forever now. Story, if the Oakland wants to take the plunge, that'll definitely be a welcome addition for a Trevor Story. I could definitely see that. So, Michael Yank, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. Really appreciate that. So, if you're the A's and you want to get a deal done for a Javier Baez, I could see something like this. You're pretty close at this point. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with the Javier Baez. The shortstop market is not very large as of right now. You're not seeing a lot of teams that really need a shortstop. You can maybe move someone over to second if that's what it may be, but definitely look out for some teams like Oakland. Cincinnati could get involved too. L Dog has just subscribed. Hello. I'm seeing that in the chat. Ramon Vlogs, could you maybe see Story maybe to Milwaukee? Maybe they could figure something out there too. I mean, they did just get Willie Adames, so they would have to move someone around. We'll have to wait and see on that. But I mean, again, some teams that could use some shortstops. Oakland, Cincinnati. The White Sox could use a second baseman. That's always a possibility. So we'll have to keep an eye on it to see what the market ends up being. We'll have to see if Javier Baez ends up going anywhere. I could see a Javier Baez re-signing with the Cubs. I could see them meeting an extension. I don't think Javier Baez is going to get a big contract this winter. I don't see it happening just because of that on base. I don't know about that. I think teams are going to be a little scared off with the on base and the high strikeouts. So I don't think Javier Baez, I mean, sure, he does give you some good fielding as well, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to get a big contract. I don't see it. I could maybe see something like, I don't know, anywhere from like 15 to 20 per year. I don't know. That might even be a stretch. Maybe like 15 to 18 per year. Eli Dell has just subscribed. Hello. So, but that's where I'm at with a Javier Baez. So he is where he is at number 9 on my list. So coming in at number 8. So at number 8, I have Craig Kimbrell sticking with the Cubs. Now, Craig Kimbrell, I think, could be a huge game changer. He's a little low on this list because, hey, relievers, I think personally, I mean, I'm going to put position players and starting pitchers ahead of relievers, but Craig Kimbrell is a guy, I mean, he could go anywhere. This is a guy that can go to any contender. I don't think he's going to stay with the Cubs. I think if there's one guy that ends up getting traded, Kimbrell's got to be, I think, the most likely. So Kimbrell, let's go take a look here at Kimbrell. He's having a heck of a year so far. So Kimbrell, as of right now, I mean, this guy has just been nuts this year. A 0.53 ERA over the 35 games, 21 saves. This guy has been nasty this year. If we take a look at the numbers, I mean, 15 and a half strikeouts per 9. His strikeouts are just through the roof. He was an all-star this year. He was having a tough time back in 2020, back in 2019, actually down the stretch for my Red Sox in 2018 and in the playoffs. That's when we really started to see something going on with Kimbrell. It took him a couple of years to figure it out, but now 2021, this guy has just been nasty this year. So there are a lot of teams that could use some bullpen help. If we go take a look at some teams that could use some bullpen help, here we go. Let me click out of some of these. I'm getting myself all confused up in here. So here we go. Let's go take a look. So the rankings currently, taking a look at the bottom of this list. I mean, I don't know if Cincinnati's going to do it. Probably not. I mean, you could maybe see the Phillies. I could maybe see the Phillies giving them a phone call. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. They're trying to really ramp up that farm system a bit more. Philly, as of right now, they rank 28th in the farm system. So I don't know if Philly is going to want to give up prospects for a Craig Kimbrell. Let me actually pull up Craig Kimbrell here on this list on baseball trade values. So let me take off Baez. So let's see, what is it going to cost for a Craig Kimbrell? He's actually not going to cost a lot, and that might be surprising to some of you. So Craig Kimbrell, as of right now, has a 2.6 value. So that might be kind of shocking to some of you, but Craig Kimbrell, I mean, it's simply put, I mean, relievers are just not really going to have a high wins above replacement. It's a 2.1, but the reason Kimbrell's value is a lot lower than you would think is because he's making a lot of money. So what the heck just happened to the... Oh, here we go. Let me click out of this one. So let me take off Baez. So as of right now, he has a value of $2.6 million. Again, it's what he's doing on the field. He's obviously having a great year, but that contract is so big, it's diminishing that value overall. So what are some teams? I mean, Kimbrell, take your pick. I mean, with a value like that, you got to think, I mean, there's going to be a lot of callers for him. So, again, back to this. If we take a look, you also have to wonder about payroll. So I could see a team, like I've seen people say the Astros maybe. Well, if the Astros were to make a trade for a Craig Kimbrell, the Cubs are going to need to eat some of that contract, unless the Astros are okay with going over that luxury tax line. So let me pull up the Astros as of right now. Matthew Pope has just subscribed. Hello, my friend. So the Astros, as of right now, they have a payroll of $208 million, getting close to $209. So there's not a lot of wiggle room there if they want to stay under that luxury tax line. So Kimbrell, as of right now, I believe this year what is he making, like $16 million? Okay, Craig Kimbrell contract. So this year, I think it's $16 million. Yeah, $16 million. So, I mean, what, we're halfway through the season now. We're more than halfway through the season. So it's going to be, what, like 7 point something million. So the Cubs are going to need to eat some of that if, like, a team like the Astros, a team that's close to that luxury tax line, they're going to need to eat some of that contract. But maybe the Cubs will want to eat some of that contract, because if we go take a look here, meaning the value is only 2.6, but let's say the Cubs decided to eat the rest of that money. Let's say they'll pay off, I don't know, $5 million. So now, if they pay some of that contract, well, now the return would be better. They would get a better prospect return for a Kimbrell. So let's see. What are some teams here that I think could be good candidates for a Craig Kimbrell? The Giants' bullpen was not very good at the beginning of the season. It has been better as of late, but that Giants bullpen currently, it only ranks 17th overall on the year. Again, that bullpen has been a lot better in the last month, but maybe the Giants want to add another arm to that bullpen. I could see something like that. So maybe the Giants want to take a splurge. I mean, honestly, maybe the A's would want to take a splurge. Why would the A's not want to? They're not going to have Trevor Rosenthal this year. Hey, bring in Kimbrell for the stretch run. The A's are right there. If we take a look at the standings, they're right now tied with Houston for the division lead. So maybe Kimbrell could be sought after for that bullpen. Let me take a look real quick at Oakland's bullpen. They rank 22nd on the year. I think Kimbrell could be a pretty decent fit. Why not the A's? I think the A's could be a great fit. A team like the Giants could be a good fit. Honestly, he would be a good fit anywhere. I don't know if he's going to go back to the Red Sox. I don't see Chaim Bloom making a deal for him. I mean, the Red Sox, they're trying to add prospects back to that system, so I don't know if they're going to want to bring him back. It was kind of like that last showing that we had of Kimbrell in Boston. I don't know. He just wasn't looking very sharp in those playoffs. So I don't know if the Red Sox would want to bring him back. I think he'll end up going elsewhere. I mean, honestly, take your pick. I mean, any team could pick up a Craig Kimbrell. The Dodgers, I mean, they're already way through the roof when it comes to salary. I mean, the White Sox, their bullpen is great. Could maybe they add him? I mean, there's a whole ton of possibilities. I mean, Edwin Diaz hasn't been looking very good after the All-Star break. Maybe the Mets want to bring him in. I think the Giants. I think the Blue Jays could be a really good fit. The only problem with the Blue Jays is, they're in third right now. They're getting close to a wild card spot. So maybe the Blue Jays, they've been adding some pieces for that bullpen lately. Maybe the Blue Jays take a splurge on a Kimbrell. And don't forget, with Kimbrell, there is a team option. I believe it's a vesting option. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to kick it in to where I think he had to get to a certain amount of appearances for it to turn into a player option, but I don't think he's going to be able to hit that. So it's going to be a team option, I believe. So a team, I think that makes it more intriguing. A team could keep him for next year if they wanted to. So that's something to keep in mind. So I definitely could see the Blue Jays maybe doing it. I mean, there's a lot of teams that could go for a Craig Kimbrell. Again, you could go, a lot of different ways. Dodgers. The Dodgers, they could always add another arm for that bullpen. Why not? The Padres. Could Craig Kimbrell come home to the Padres? That could be a good fit. Maybe the Braves. The Braves could use another arm for that bullpen. Maybe a hometown reunion or homecoming for Craig Kimbrell. That could be pretty fun if you ask me. I mean, maybe the Brewers. I don't know if the Cubs would want to trade within the division, or the Brewers would want to send back prospects. The Mets, the Giants, the Blue Jays. I mean, the Astros. It depends on whether or not they want to go over that luxury tax line. Oakland, I think, could be a good fit. I mean, take your pick here. There's a lot of teams that could use a Craig Kimbrell. So, coming in at number 7 on my list, this is an outfielder. His name has been in the rumor mill today. Maybe a team that's on ESPN right now could maybe make a trade for this guy. Coming in at number 7, I have Starling Marte. This guy was hurt for a little while. Starling Marte is having a really good year. Let's take a look at Starling Marte. Let me pull up the numbers for you guys real quick. So Starling Marte, like I said, he was hurt for a little bit there, but he's back to playing. He's having a good year. He's hitting .287, 7 home runs, 21 RBIs. Look at the stolen bases, 18 stolen bases. He runs the bases well, not just because of the stolen bases, but he's just a good base runner in general. A .391 on base, .446 slugging, just respectable numbers all the way around. He's a veteran guy. He's not going to cost you a lot. I believe with a Starling Marte, as of right now, Starling Marte, let me go to the contract. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's what, like 12 million? Yeah, like 12.5 million there. So Starling Marte is going to be a helpful guy for any team that is in need of outfield help. And hey, the New York Yankees just lost Tim LeCastro. I mean, they just had another injury in the outfield, not just tonight. I mean, the Yankees could use another outfielder. I think Starling Marte for the Yankees could be a really good fit. They really need a guy for center field. If we take a look right now at center field for the New York Yankees, so if we take a look at the center field rankings, the Yankees, they rank 26 in all of Major League Baseball. They need something out there. They need someone. And if we take a look at the Yankees overall, when it comes to base running, the Yankees are the worst base running team in all of Major League Baseball. Let's go take a look at Starling Marte. What is he going to give you in terms of base running? Let's go Fangraphs. He has a good base running stat. Look at the base running for him. He's got a 5.0. The Yankees would love a Starling Marte. And if we go take a look at the news, I just saw it not too long ago. Well, we did have this today. So a report came out that he rejected the Marlins $30 million, 3-year, $30 million contract extension. I mean, I'm not surprised about that. I think he would definitely be able to get more on the open market. But I believe there was, and actually right there, call to the pen is reporting now likely to be traded. So I believe there was something about the Yankees today. Here it was. So the Phillies, Astros, and the Yankees are among the teams. Oh yeah, it was John Heyman that did this. So John Heyman tweeted out not too long ago, the Phillies, the Astros, and the Yankees are among teams to check in on Starling Marte, who seems likely to be traded. A sizable gap remains in contract talks. Miami's offer is for more than the reported $30 million for 3 years, but extension hopes are fading. So I think the Marlins would be okay keeping him at a pretty decent price, but I don't think they're going to stick to their guns. I don't think they're going to really pay him a lot of money. I could see them keeping him at a good hometown discount, but I don't know about that. The Phillies are another team to keep a lookout for a Starling Marte. That's an in-division trade, but the Phillies could use someone out there in center field. That's been just a revolving door for the Phillies for how long now? So look out for the Phillies. Maybe you could see an in-division trade there. Let's go to baseball trade values. Let's pull up. What is a trade for a Starling Marte going to look like? Let me set it up with the Yankees. I think the Yankees would be more likely. Who was the other team there? The Astros. I don't know. I feel like the Astros don't really need it. I mean, he would help for sure. He would be a good upgrade. But let me go to the Yankees. I feel like the Yankees would be the best fit personally. They're having a lot of guys now getting hurt. So if we take a look at the Marlins for a trade. Sorry about that. I just got distracted really quick. Marte. Where are we at? Marte. So he's got a value of 13.4. He's going to cost you something. He's definitely going to cost you something. So, but the Yankees have a good farm system. A lot of people think in the Yankees, I don't know, they think that farm system's not very good. I mean, that's a very good farm system. They rank 7th overall. They got some prospects to spend. They got a lot of guys that you could maybe put up. So let me go pull up some prospects here with the Yankees. That's the Mets. The Yankees. 200 people in the chat right now. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. No power rankings tonight. We're going to go over my top 10 trade deadline candidates. If anyone's new, hit that subscribe button for me. Also, everyone, if you can, hit that like button for me if you haven't yet. But let's take a look at some Yankee prospects maybe that could go back. So, honestly, I don't know. They're in love with Gleyber Torres, it seems. Maybe you could do an Oswald Peraza, something like that. Estevan Florial. This guy's always involved in trade talks, it seems like, or Yankee fans wanting to put him in trade talks. You got Volpe there. So let me go kind of plug some guys in here. So let me just go minors here. Definitely not going to be a Dominguez. Actually, Peraza, you wouldn't even need to do a Peraza. He is way above value. Even a Volpe, I don't think you would have to do a Volpe. So maybe like an Alcantara. I could see something like that, a Kevin Alcantara. If we take a look, Kevin Alcantara is their number 12 prospect. So if we take a look, he was an international signing back in 2018. If we take a look at his numbers so far in the minor leagues, he's hitting 308 right now, a 438 on base through 5 games. So he's off to a good start in the minors this year. So I could definitely see a Kevin Alcantara. I could see something like that. So he has an 11.9 value. Hey, throw in one more guy here. We can go down further on this list. I don't know. Maybe let's just throw in a picture. Maybe like someone like a Beck Way, possibly. Let's see, Beck Way. He's got a 4.1 value. So that actually, maybe the Yankees could do something like that. You also have to remember at the trade deadline, you're going to probably have to overpay a little bit because other teams are calling. Teams get desperate. They start to just chuck out a lot more offers and a lot more prospects. And I could maybe see something like this. Maybe someone on the major league roster. Do you do maybe someone like an Andujar? I don't know. I don't know if the Yankees would want to do that. I think Andujar could be a pretty nice fit with the Marlins. But maybe something like this, a couple of prospects. I could see someone like an Alcantara, the number 12 prospect, maybe a pitching prospect. Something along these lines. I think Marte, he's going to get traded because he doesn't cost a lot. He's not going to cost you a lot. So he has a 13.4 million value. I could see something like this. The Phillies, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if the Marlins would want to send prospects back to the Phillies. They have made deals before. They made the JT Realmuto trade for, Sixto Sanchez. So, that's something they do have a history of trading together. So maybe the Phillies jump in. I don't know if we take a look. The Yankees are better positioned for a trade because they have a better farm system than the Phillies. If we take a look at the Astros as of right now, they're ranked 25th. So honestly, if it comes down to the Yankees, the Astros, and the Phillies, I think you have to give the edge to the Yankees. They have more farm system to give. So I don't know. I think the Astros, that offense is good enough. I don't see it. I don't see the Astros doing it. The Yankees, they're having injuries right now. I could see the Yankees for sure. So moving on from Starling Marte, coming in at number 6. I have Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson is having a career year this year. I think he could be a great fit for a lot of teams. Kyle Gibson, let's go pull up the numbers. So Kyle Gibson, as of right now, a 2.29 ERA through 17 games this year. What a year this guy is having. So what a year. This guy's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. Fangraphs and Baseball Reference, that's deep. And the Yankees have a 5-0 lead. I told you guys, I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, but in my mid-season power rankings, I said, don't count out the Yankees. 5-0 lead against my Red Sox. So they're looking pretty good here tonight. Good pitching from Tyon. Good offense tonight. The Yankees are looking pretty good. I mean, I'm just saying. The Yankees, they're dangerous. So I think a Marte trade could actually be really good. But Kyle Gibson, we're talking about Kyle Gibson. Here we go. He's on a 3-year contract right now, $28 million total. He's not going to be a free agent until 2023, so I think a lot of teams are intrigued by that. I think Kyle Gibson is going to be very attractive to a lot of teams. Let me go pull up the Rangers on baseball trade values here. So Gibson is actually not going to cost you a lot of money or a lot of guys. So, Gibson, where are you at? So he has a value of 8.6. I mean, hey, maybe the Yankees could go get him too. But let me take off these guys here. So, take your pick here with teams that could use some starting pitching. I mean, everyone could always use starting pitching, but what are the teams that really need some starting pitching? Well, if we go to the bottom of the list, I mean, all these teams here, probably not. St. Louis could use another guy. I mean, their depth is very thin as of right now. St. Louis, right now, they're sitting 4th place in that division right now. I don't know, they're fading fast. St. Louis is not looking good. I don't know if St. Louis would really want to go for it. They would have him for next year. That is something to consider. That's one thing with Kyle Gibson. You don't necessarily have to have a team that is in contention to go get him because you could just have him for next year as well. So the Cardinals, I could see going after a Kyle Gibson. I think that's a possibility. If we take a look, we got, I don't know, no Nationals, no to the Royals, no to the Tigers. I mean, maybe the Angels, as of right now, the Angels, they are also 4th, kind of like the Cardinals. They're 9 back in the division, 5.5 back of a wild card. I wouldn't count the Angels out just yet. There's a lot of talent on that team. But the Angels, maybe, but that's in division, so I don't know about that. The Rays, they really could use another guy. Tyler Glasnow went down. It's looking like maybe he could come back. He's starting to play some catch. Oh, Michael Yanks with another super chat. Mad Max to the Padres. Hey, Michael Yanks. Hey, I think you might be onto something there, my friend. I think you might be onto something. So, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Michael. But look out for the Rays as a possible fit for a Kyle Gibson. I mean, they were paying Charlie Morton last year. I mean, how much per year? I forget the contract he was making, but Kyle Gibson's making around what Charlie Morton was making. So I could see the Rays maybe going for a Kyle Gibson. That's definitely a possibility, especially with Tyler Glasnow down. They have the prospects to get it done. I mean, the Rays farm system goes on forever. Kyle Gibson could be a fit for the Rays. The Braves, maybe. The Braves could use some starting pitching. I think Kyle Gibson on the Braves could be a pretty good fit. I mean, sure, maybe even the Padres. Why not the Padres? They're starting to have some injuries in that rotation. So maybe we could have, I mean, the Astros pitching, I just got a report. Miami's set to move forward with trade proposals. So it's looking like no more contract talks with Starling Marte. But the Astros, I mean, they've had some good starting pitching this year. Maybe he's already in Texas. It wouldn't be too much of a drive there to go to Houston. Maybe Houston jumps in on it, gets some more depth. I think the Yankees, I mean, they're having some injuries to that rotation right now. The Yankees could go for a Kyle Gibson. I don't know. They are close to that luxury tax line, so maybe the Rangers could pay off some of that contract. If we go take a look here, I already have Gibson on the Yankees right now. So let's say the Rangers paid the rest of that contract. So let me see. What is it exactly for this year? So this year he's making $10 million. So, or I think it goes by average, right? So let's say what? So he's already made more than half of his salary this year so far. So maybe they end up paying like, I don't know, they just pay off the rest of it this year. Let me just put $5 million. Hold on. Let's put why are we doing this? There we go. $5 million for the Yankees. So this could be a possibility as well. I mean, And the good thing is that they would have him for the rotation for next year as well. So you could maybe do something like this. And honestly, I could keep these two guys here. Why not? Maybe instead of an Alcantara, maybe you could do a pitching prospect in return. Maybe, a Vizcaíno, possibly. I don't know. The Rangers, it seems like they're thinking to themselves, they're going to be close to competing. So maybe they want a guy that's closer. You do got a Luis Medina right there. I don't know. Do you give up a Luis Medina for a Kyle Gibson? I don't know about that, but why not? Let's go pull up Medina. Let's see how much he costs. So Medina is a 10.6 value right now. So if we take off Alcantara, actually Alcantara has more of a value according to baseball trade values. So, Alcantara, let's take him off. So I don't know. Actually, that brings it a little closer. So maybe something like this. Maybe instead of a way, you can do, I don't know, like an infield prospect or something. I don't know. Maybe a Montero, an outfield prospect, maybe a Halver, something like that. Who else we got here? Number 23 prospect there in single A as of right now. Maybe a Brandon Lockridge, something like that. So you could see the Yankees maybe jump in for someone like a Kyle Gibson. The Rangers would have to pay some of that contract because he wouldn't fit into their payroll. So they're very close to that payroll line. If we go take a look here. The Yankees, as of right now, still 200 strong in the chat. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Appreciate you guys sticking around. But the Yankees, as of right now, I mean, they're actually not too bad. They're actually a little further away than I thought. So they're at around 206.5 million as of right now. Stay Mellow 5 has just subscribed. Hello, my friend. So you could maybe do a Kyle Gibson to the Yankees. I think they would have to pay some of that contract. I could see something like that. There's a lot of teams that could use a Kyle Gibson. Again, I mean, I'll go through the list again. Maybe the Mets. I mean, the Mets, they could use some more starting pitching, I think. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with Syndergaard? Who knows what's going to happen with Carrasco? Maybe the Giants want to add more to that rotation, maybe improve the depth a little bit more. They already have a lot of guys there, so I don't know about that. The Yankees, I think, could definitely do something. Probably not Oakland. Maybe Houston. Maybe. They're close to that luxury tax line too, so they would have to have some of that contract get eaten a little bit unless they want to go over that line. I could see a team like the Braves. Josie Wales has just subscribed. Hello. The Braves, I think, would be interesting. I think the Rays could be good. Maybe the Angels. I don't know. That's in division, so I think the Blue Jays could be a pretty decent fit. I think the Blue Jays could use another guy there. I do like a Hyun-Jin Ryu. Robbie Ray's been pretty decent this year, but I think another arm for that rotation would be good for the stretch run. So there's a lot of teams that could use a Kyle Gibson, so I have him at number 6 on my list. All right, getting into the top 5 now. Who do I have at number 5? I can't remember who I have at number 5. At number 5. Oh, yeah, Jose Berrios. That's right. Jose Berrios. This is a really interesting name to keep an eye on. Jose Berrios. This is a guy, kind of like Kyle Gibson. He has control on that contract. So let me go pull up some numbers with a Jose Berrios. So Jose Berrios, as of right now, I mean, he's making nothing. He's making no money. He's not a free agent until 2023. So Jose Berrios is a very intriguing name to keep an eye out for. And the reason that he is even being talked about for possible trades is that there was a report saying that the Twins, Jose Berrios, they're not meeting eye to eye on a contract extension. So the Twins, they might want to unload this guy and get something for him, while his value is pretty high. He actually has a very high value as of right now. So let me go pull up the Twins real quick. So the Twins, Jose Berrios, because of the age, because of the contract, because of the production, a very high value for him. As of right now, he has a 40.8 value. That is a lot. So let me take off Cruz here. Cruz. Take him off. So we got Barrios. So in all honesty, kind of, take your pick of where Jose Berrios could go. I just said all of those teams for Kyle Gibson. I think all of those teams could still make sense. So The reason I have Jose Berrios ahead of a Kyle Gibson on this list is because he is cheaper and he is younger and he has a bit more of a track record than a Kyle Gibson. I think Jose Berrios with the Rays would be a really fun fit. I feel like Jose Berrios is one of these guys. He has a lot to offer. I feel like they haven't tapped into what he can do. Put him with the Rays, a team that develops pitching so well. Jose Berrios, I think, could take it to another level with the Rays. I would love that fit. I would absolutely love that fit. I mean, I would hate it as a Red Sox fan, but as a baseball fan, I think Jose Berrios on the Rays would be awesome. But there are a whole bunch of other teams that could use a Jose Berrios. I mean, maybe the Mets jump in. The Mets have, this is a pretty interesting, let me show you this real quick. So there have been some rumors out there that maybe the Mets are looking into upgrade at third base or add another bat somewhere. JD Davis, he's had his problems, staying healthy this year. So could you maybe do a package deal? Let's go take a look here. We have Jose Berrios, and could you maybe do someone like a Josh Donaldson who has a negative value, and that would actually close the gap even further on a trade. So they wouldn't have to give up a lot of prospects to get this package, because Donaldson, he has a negative value because of the production that he's been putting on the field, because of his health problems, because of his age, and because of how much money he's making. He has a negative 19.7 value. Hey, could you maybe get a Barrios in this way where you're not going to have to give up a lot? So if you're the Mets here, I think you could maybe get something done. I think this could be a really fun fit. I mean, Donaldson has his problems staying injured or staying healthy, so he seems like he's been fine lately. I don't know if the Mets are going to really want to give up a lot of prospects here. So taking a look here, the Mets as of right now, they rank, where are they at here? They rank 16th in the farm, so it's not bad. I think they're trying to add more to that farm system, so I don't know if they do something like this, but at least with a Donaldson, you're going to have him under contract. At least with a Barrios, you're going to have him under contract. So that's something to consider. Oh, we got another super chat coming in. JD Games, Barrios to Seattle. I'll get to that here in a second. I think that could be a really fun fit. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, my friend. But taking a look here, if you're the Mets, I think maybe you could get something done. Hey, send back a Vientos. Maybe send back, I don't know. Maybe send back like a Peterson. Maybe get something done there. I don't know. That's a major league guy that can go into that rotation. If not Peterson, maybe you can do maybe someone like a Ramirez and a Ginn. I think you're getting pretty close in this way. So I definitely think keep an eye out for the Mets to maybe make a deal, something like this. It's possible. But let me get to that super chat here. I think Barrios on Seattle would actually make a lot of sense. If we go take a look at Seattle as of right now, they rank 24th in starting pitching. They could use another guy in that rotation. If we go take a look at Seattle as of right now, and I think, that would be a pretty fun fit because he's under control. The Mariners are pretty close to contending, and the Mariners right now are in third place. They are 2.5 back of a wild card spot. Why not Seattle? I could see Seattle doing something like this. And they have the prospects to get it done. As of right now, Seattle, they rank 4th in all of baseball with their farm system. They have the pieces to be able to get this done. So Seattle, their rotation as of right now, they could use another guy. They're having problems with some injuries lately. Logan Gilbert had to come up, and luckily for them, he's been great. He has been awesome this year. So I think a Jose Berrios would actually make a lot of sense for the Seattle Mariners. So let's go take a look. Let's take a look here. So the Mariners, I think this could be really fun. And they would have him for next year too. Maybe get Emerson Hancock up eventually. George Kirby up eventually. Sign Barrios long term. I mean, what a rotation that would be. What a rotation. Logan Gilbert, Jose Barrios, George Kirby, Emerson Hancock. I mean, that's not bad if you put that on paper. I think that sounds pretty good. So the Mariners, let's put Barrios here. Now, I don't think that same scenario would happen with the Mariners. I don't think they're going to take on a Josh Donaldson. So, Berrios here, it's going to cost you a pretty penny if you just want Berrios alone. So, but the Mariners, I think, could get it done. If we take a look, you have... So, the problem here, the only problem I have is, are they going to be able to match up on the prospects? So, you're not going to give up a Julio Rodriguez. They're not going to give up a Noelvi Marte. You're not going to give up Hancock. You just drafted him. I don't see them giving up. I don't see them giving up a Kirby. I don't see these guys getting moved. Now, let's go pull up the rankings as of right now for the Mariners. So, I mean, you got some guys here. So, I mean, you got maybe guys like Juan Then. There's Brandon Williamson here. Maybe a major league guy. I think you would maybe have to include a major league ready guy if you're the Mariners, because the values really fall off after, you know, these top guys. I don't see them giving up a Cal Riley. They just brought him up. I don't see that. So maybe you could involve like a Williamson. I mean, could you do a Marte? I don't know. I don't know. If you're the Twins, you would have to give up something else to get Marte at that point. I don't know if they're going to do that. But let me put a couple of prospects. Let me put Williamson and then. So, and let me go to some major league guys. So, I mean, definitely not Kelenic either. That's not going to happen. So, I mean, could you do... I don't think you do a Kyle Lewis, do you? Probably not a Kyle Lewis. I mean, that wouldn't even get it done. It's going to take a lot to get a Barrios. Maybe a Ty France? I don't know about that. I don't think so. I mean, if you put a Ty France, that brings it pretty close. I don't know about this. I mean, but then you got Donaldson there, so where do you put France? I don't know. I mean, if you traded a Nelson Cruz somewhere, you could put Donaldson as your DH, and you could put France at third. So this is something maybe to consider. I don't know about this. This sounds a little too much if you ask me. I don't know if the Mariners even have another guy that would... I mean, the Mariners need some offense, too. So, I'm trying to think on the fly here. Oh, wait, Ty France has been playing first. Oh, yeah, that's right, because Seager's at third. So, I don't know. My potato brain is not clicking right now. They're going to... I mean, I'm wondering if they could... Could you maybe do something? I mean, if they gave up, let's say, a France, their first baseman as of right now, I mean, could you maybe move someone back over to first? If we take a look, where'd they go here? Maybe, can Torrens play first? I mean, he's played catcher a lot this year, but he hasn't played any first, so that probably won't work. I mean, I don't know if they don't have anyone that's ready to come up. So, I don't know. That would be a bit of a problem. So, I don't know if you could do a Ty France. So, it'd be interesting. I don't know how else they would do this because they're not going to give up a Kelenic. They're not going to give up a Rodriguez. I don't think they would give up a Marte. I don't know about that. I mean, they got J.P. Crawford. I mean, could you do a J.P. Crawford? I don't know. Nah, probably not because Marte is too far away. I don't know. This would be kind of tough to meet up in terms of... You need to make up a lot of gap here. So, I would love to have a Berrios on the Mariners. I think that'd be really fun, but this is going to be a little tough. I mean, you do got, you got some guys like some younger starting pitching like a Sheffield, but he's only got a 7.4 value. Maybe a Taylor Trammell. I mean, but then you're starting to really just load up on prospects here, and you don't really see that very much. Like you could maybe do a 4-for-1, but in this case, you're still really far apart. So I don't know. I don't know if this works. And could you do maybe a Mitch Haniger? Maybe. Is Haniger a free agent soon? So where do they have? I mean, Kelenic already okay. Kelenic is back up. I mean, I don't know. I think if you're the Mariners, you would have to get either way. I mean, Mitch Haniger's not. I mean, I don't know. Do you send back a Mitch Haniger in this trade? I wouldn't. He's been pretty good this year. So I don't know. If you're the Mariners, would you want to give up on that? Doesn't make a lot of sense if you ask me. But I think overall for the Mariners, you would have to get creative. And whatever it may be, you have some prospects you could send back. But if you're the Mariners, if you want a Jose Berrios, they're going to have to come up with some ways to get this done without having to give up. I mean, you're not going to give up Rodriguez. You're not going to give up Kelnick. You're not going to give up Kirby. You're not going to give up Hancock. You're not going to give up, definitely not going to give up Logan Gilbert for sure. So, I mean, you're not going to give up any. I don't think you give up a Noelvi Marte. I think you could give up a Marte in another trade, but I don't think you would give up a Marte for a Jose Berrios. So, if you're the Mariners, you're going to have to get creative here. Overall, Jose Berrios, I think he's going to be really sought after. The Cardinals made a call at one point for a Jose Berrios. I think the Blue Jays could be fun. Again, Seattle could be fun. Could the Yankees maybe get involved? Maybe. I think the Yankees could be pretty fun. Yeah, maybe the Mets. I don't know. There's a lot of different possibilities for a Jose Berrios, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to be really sought after because he has that control. He's not going to be a free agent until 2023. So let me pull that back up again. Yeah, 2023. So that'd be interesting. Got to keep an eye out for Jose Berrios. Alrighty, so coming in at number 4 on my list, we have Adam Frazier. And I actually think Adam Frazier could be a pretty fun fit on the Mariners. I know I just talked about the Mariners forever, but I think Adam Frazier could be a pretty decent fit. This Mariners team could use some offense. Now, this is a guy I could maybe seeing as like a dark horse for an Adam Frazier. He's been really good this year. A 328 average, 31 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, a 393 on base. Adam Frazier on the Mariners, I think could actually make some sense. If we go pull up the Pirates here. So let's pull up Frazier. Frazier is not going to cost you too much. He's going to cost you something. So let me get rid of these guys. Oh, I got to start this whole thing over. So here we go. The Mariners. Here we go. Frazier. All right, so it's going to... Why are we doing this? Baseball trade values, you are just killing me right now. Anyway, I'll go back to that in 1 second. But let's look at some teams that could use some offense. So, I mean, right off the bat, the White Sox. The White Sox, well, they don't need offense, but they could use a second baseman. So, let's go take a look at some of these numbers here. The White Sox, I mean, they lost Nick Madrigal, so that's something to pay attention to. Even with a Nick Madrigal this year, they only ranked 17th. So, I don't know. What do you do with a Frazier? I mean, you could move him around. That's the beauty of a Frazier. He could go to the outfield and play a little bit out there if he wanted to. He can move around in the infield. So, Adam Frazier is a guy to look out for maybe the White Sox. I think there's a lot of teams that could use an Adam Frazier. I think he would be really beneficial for a lot of guys. Honestly, I think the Yankees could find a way to use him. I think Adam Frazier for the Yankees, a left-handed bat, would be pretty fun. I think he would be pretty fun on the Rays. I just don't know where they would put him. So, but again, going back to the Mariners, I think the Mariners would be a really fun team. The reason I'm talking about the Mariners is because they have Dylan Moore at second base right now, and Dylan Moore has not been too good this year. So, you know what? I actually have... You know what? Instead of plugging all these guys in, I actually have a trade already pulled up here. So if we go take a look, Frazier. I'll tell you, I go on MLB or baseball trade values sometimes, and I just plug guys in. Frazier. I know I plugged him in at some point. There it is. So here is a trade. I posted this one yesterday. So maybe you could do something like this. Maybe a Frazier going to the Mariners and going back to the Pirates. You get 3 prospects. You get Deloche, you get and then you get Williamson. So for the Mariners, like I was saying, it would be kind of hard to go get a Jose Berrios. But I think they could be a pretty good fit for an Adam Frazier. They could use some offense. If we go take a look at the Mariners' offense as a whole, they could use another bat there. Seattle only ranks 22nd in offense as of right now. They could use another guy. I think Adam Frazier would be a nice fit, and he's going to be under control for next season, so it's not like he's just a rental. I think for the Mariners, that could be really intriguing. So for Adam Frazier, I think that's a dark horse fit for the Mariners, so keep an eye out for that. A team like the White Sox, I think, could use something. Let me go to some other teams here. Actually, let me keep second base pulled up. So pulling this up one more time before I move on to my number 3. So, again, Seattle. I mean, and I just pointed out Seattle. They didn't rank very well with second base, or they didn't rank well in offense, but at second base, they only ranked 28th. So that's something to consider. I don't know if my Red Sox would go for them. I mean, they have some guys that can already move around. I know they don't rank very well in terms of production at second base, but I don't see the Red Sox going for it. I mean, could you maybe do the Giants staying out west? Wilmer Flores has been okay. He's hitting 254, 9 homers, 30 RBIs. I mean, that's something maybe to consider. I don't know. I don't think the Giants end up doing it. Probably not. But you got some other teams. Probably not Miami. The Yankees, maybe. Probably not. Probably, I mean, definitely the White Sox have been linked with him for a while. So those are the teams that I think could be a good fit for an Adam Frazier. We'll have to wait and see where he could end up going. But here we go. Let's get to the top 3. These are 3 big names that we keep hearing about all the time. So at number 3, this guy is a part right now of a team that could be going into insane sell mode. And so at number 3, I have Kris Bryant. So Kris Bryant, this is a guy that just seems to make the most sense to me, and I think to a lot of other people, for the New York Mets. It just seems to be a good fit all the way around. So let's go take a look. The Mets, I mean, what is going on with this Mets team? It seems like every year they just find a way to just start free falling. So let me go pull up here some Kris Bryant stats. So Kris Bryant, as of right now, he's having a bounce-back year, 265 on the average, 16 homers, 347 on base. He has not been playing well as of late, so I'm wondering what's going to end up happening there in terms of a return package. But I could see Kris Bryant. I'd be shocked if Kris Bryant ends up re-signing with the Cubs. I don't know at this point. I feel like he's going to move on in free agency. Oh, the Yankees got a 7-0 lead. I have not been paying attention. Look at the Yankees. I'm telling you, look out for the Yankees. I never lost faith. But taking a look at Kris Bryant. So for the Mets, as of right now, for third base, they did just get J.D. Davis back. J.D. Davis is having a good year. He just hasn't been very healthy. Oh, we got another super chat coming in. Main Adventures. Ty France reminds me of the next Jed Lowry. Hey, you know, I think you're onto something with that. I like me some Ty France. I like him a lot. I remember when Jed Lowry was on the Red Sox. I love Jed Lowry. But Main Adventures, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate that, my friend. But yeah, the Mets, I mean, their offense this year has not ranked very well. So, I mean, Lindor, and especially with Lindor going down, I don't know. I mean, they definitely need a bat. If we take a look at the Mets, they only ranked 19th in offense this year. So, Kris Bryant, I mean, I don't know. If you got J.D. Davis there, I don't know where you put him. I mean, you could move him to – the beauty of a Kris Bryant is he has been moving around. So, if you take a look, he has played third base this year. He has played some outfield. He even played some first base. So, Kris Bryant can move. He doesn't have to be just slated in at third base. But, I mean, for the Mets, you could find a place for him to play. You could move him around every day. That's what he's been doing with the Cubs. So I think the Mets, to me, they make a lot of sense. Let's go pull up a Kris Bryant here on baseball trade values. Let's do the Mets. So the Nationals, they've been rumored to be getting involved. I don't know. I did a video on Kris Bryant to the Nationals. I feel like the Nationals, I don't know. They just seem to be falling out of it. I don't think the Nationals are going to end up doing it, but I think they're trying to drive up the price. A lot of teams in divisions will do that. So let's pull up. Whoops, I picked the Nationals. So let me pull up the Cubs here. Chris Bryant is not going to cost you a ton. So as of right now, he has a value of a 15.1. So that's not out of the question. For the Mets, I mean, I think you have a trade set up. If you go to the prospects that they have, you could do a Vientos. He has a 9.3. Let's go pull up here the Mets' top prospects. So we have here Vientos, the number 8. Could you do maybe something like an Alex Ramirez, the number 9? So Ramirez, he's a 5.4. You're pretty close here. You're pretty close. A Ramirez and a Vientos, the number 8 and number 9 prospects. Maybe throw in one more guy and a trade gets done. So I could definitely see something like this. The Mets make a lot of sense to me because they really could use another bat. If we take a look at some other teams that could use some offense, I mean, could you have I don't know about the Blue Jays. Probably not about the Blue Jays. I don't know about that. Atlanta, keep an eye out for Atlanta. That's a team where, you just lost Ronald Acuna. They just made a trade with the Cubs, though, for Jock Peterson. I'm wondering if maybe they already tried asking about a Chris Bryant. So, I don't know. I'm guessing if they already had the Cubs on the phone, I mean, I'm guessing probably Bryant will not be an Atlanta Brave because, they already had, they had their chance already. So if they didn't get him before, they got Jock Peterson instead. So I don't see the Atlanta maybe going for a Chris Bryant. And that doesn't seem like an Atlanta kind of a move. I don't see them doing that. But, maybe they could use another bat. So there are prospects here that the Braves could send back. What am I clicking right now? Here we go. Atlanta. No, not the Diamondbacks. Here we go. Braves. You got some guys maybe like someone like a Tucker Davidson, a Kyle Muller, maybe like a Braden Shoemake, something like that. I don't think you give up a Pache, a Waters, a Langeliers. I don't see anything like that. But, a Pache, definitely not. If we take a look, where is Shoemake? He has a 4.9 value. So maybe you could do like a 3-for-1. You could do, like you got Davidson here. Davidson was the number 7. And then you can get one more guy. Maybe you do, I don't know, like a Schuster maybe? Probably not. Schuster is the number 6. I don't see that. Or a Muller. If you're the Braves, you could do something if you really wanted to. You absolutely could. You're pretty close here. If you wanted to do a Shoemake and a Davidson, you're pretty close. Maybe one more guy gets this done. But I don't know. I feel like the Mets, I don't know. I just feel like the Mets overall to me are the best fit. And the Braves, they just made a trade with the Cubs. They could have already gotten a Chris Bryant if they wanted to. I get there's always a possibility they could still, go make another trade with them. But if we go take a look at some other teams, I don't think the Nationals do it. I think they're falling out of it. I don't know. Probably not the Phillies. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot. Could you, maybe the Dodgers? I don't know. Maybe the Dodgers, maybe. They were linked to him in the offseason. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Some teams, again, that could use some offense that are in the hunt right now. Could you maybe do the Mariners? Could maybe the Mariners be a possibility? Let's do it. Let's go see what the Mariners look like. That's the Marlins. Let's take a look at the Mariners. I think that could maybe be something. Here we go. Chris Bryant to the Mariners. Last year I did a video called How to Fix the Mariners, and I actually had Chris Bryant going to the Mariners in free agency. I think that could be pretty fun. But let's do it. Let's see what Chris Bryant to the Mariners would look like. I think you could get this done. Absolutely. Let's go pull up some prospects here. Yeah, you could definitely do like anywhere from, some of these guys from 7 to 10. I think that could get it done. So let's pull up. Let's do, could you do a Taylor Trammell? Could the Cubs maybe want to bite on him? I don't know. Let me actually go. What is Trammell just on the bench right now? Or is he is he in the lineup? Where is Trammell? Is he hurt? Is he down in AAA? Oh, okay, he's down in AAA. So how is Trammell doing as of right now? I remember he wasn't doing so hot when he came up. Trammell. Minor leagues. What are you doing? Oh, wow. He's actually doing pretty well in the minors. Oh, wow. Look at Trammell right now. 341, 7 homers, 20 RBIs. Why not? Let's put Taylor Trammell in this. Let's do it. I could see this. Do Trammell and maybe like a, I don't know. Maybe a Williamson? I mean, you're pretty close. I think that could actually be pretty good. That's actually not too bad. I mean, I don't think you would. You probably don't need to include France. You could maybe do Dylan Moore. That is something. Maybe you could do a Dylan Moore. Maybe. I could see something like this. Honestly, I think the Mariners. That's a dark horse team. They could use another bat. Look out for Chris Bryant to the Mariners. I think that's a possibility. So, oh, am I pronouncing wrong? It's Trammell. Oh, Trammell. Trammell. I don't know why I saw Trammell. Trammell. I guess that makes sense. There's 2 L's at the end. But, hey, the Mariners, don't be surprised if you see them making a phone call. Maybe the Giants. I could maybe see the Giants. Let's go take a look at the Giants. The San Francisco Giants. So Evan Longoria has been having his problems this year, staying healthy. So I don't know if they go for a Chris Bryant. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't see that. I mean, but again, you could move Chris Bryant to the outfield. They got Alex Dickerson in left right now. How's he doing? He's not doing too hot. Maybe the Giants? Let's do a Giants trade. Here we go. San Francisco Giants. The Giants could use another bat. If you take a look at where they rank in offense, well, they rank 6 actually. But hey, they could definitely use another bat if they want to stay in contention. You know, with the Dodgers and the Padres. I mean, why not? You might as well try and add if you can. But let's take a look at the Giants. So let's see. Let's pull up some prospects. Here we go. So, yeah, the Giants have some pieces that could get this done, too. Let's take a look. All right. So, again, Chris Bryant has a value of $15 million. Okay. Let's pull up some guys. Where are those prospects? So, probably not going to be a Luciano. Not going to be a Bart. Not going to be a Ramos. Probably not a Hunter Bishop. Could you do a Hunter Bishop, maybe? What is Bishop valuing at right now? Bishop is at a 16.3. So, I don't know about that. I might be, if you just do a straight up Bryant for Bishop. I could see something like a Seth Corey. Maybe like an Alexander Canario. Something like that. Maybe like a 5 and the 9 going back. So, let's do Canario and Corey. And actually that's a bit of an it's a minor overpay. Oh, I got a super chat. Main Adventures with another $5, 227 on, and we have not hit 100 likes. Everyone, Main Adventures is calling you out to hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. Hey, we also just got to 10.4K subscribers. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers. Can we get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the season? We got to 10 by the trade deadline. Could we get to 20 by the end of the season? We'll have to wait and see. But I could definitely see maybe something like this. It is the trade deadline. That is always something to consider. You're going to have to maybe do a slight overpay for a guy to get a deal done. Maybe the Giants end up making a deal. I could see something like this. So we'll have to wait and see what ends up happening with a Chris Bryant. Coming in at number 2 on my list, I think this guy, he gets a lot of flack. And you know what? This guy's having a really good season this year. I know this guy. He strikes out a lot. I know this. But this guy is a machine with the bat. At number 2, I have Joey Gallo. I think Joey Gallo could be huge for a team this year. Joey Gallo gets a lot of hate, and I'm getting tired of it. Let's go pull up Joey Gallo real quick. And I actually want to pull up the numbers on Fangraphs because I think they present a better picture of a Joey Gallo than a Baseball Reference. So let's take a look. Matthew Pope, are you watching the 2021 MLB Trade Deadline on MLB Network? Why, yes. Why, yes, I am. It's funny that you bring that up because I was actually going to say this a little bit later. On the trade deadline, on July 30th, remember it's July 30th this year at 4 o'clock is the deadline. I'm going to be going live at noon that day. I will be sitting my butt right here, sitting here for 4 hours, tracking all of the trades. So please, I see 230 of you in the chat. Everyone, please come out that day. I'm going to be sitting here the whole day, keeping track of rumors, watching the tube, checking everything I can for 4 hours. So please come out that day. But Joey Gallo, I think, could be huge for a lot of teams. If we take a look here, a 237 average is not very good. But this guy is banging home runs this year. He is getting on base at around 400, a 516 slugging. Here's with Joey Gallo. He right now has a 31.1% strikeout rate. That is top 5 in the major leagues this year, but he walks a ton. He draws a ton of walks, over 20%. That ranks first in Major League Baseball. Joey Gallo, and he also has a pretty good arm as well. So Joey Gallo is going to be a really good fit for a lot of teams. Let's kind of take a look. I mean, we talked about Starling Marte earlier for the Yankees. Joey Gallo is a possibility as well. That's a left-handed bat, so the Yankees could use another left-handed bat in that lineup. I think the Padres could be a pretty good fit as well. You know what? Let me actually pull up the splits leaderboard. Let me pull up some teams that could use a lefty. Here we go. Splits as a left-handed hitter. So let's take a look. Who are some teams that could use a left-handed bat? 7-0 Yankees. My Red Sox are getting pummeled tonight. But taking a look here, if we take a look at WRC+, so the Yankees, they rank 28th in WRC+ when it comes to left-handed hitting. The Cardinals, they're a possibility too. I think the Cardinals, Joey Gallo could be a really fun fit. But if we take a look, the Yankees definitely need someone. I don't think Joey Gallo with the Mariners. Again, the Mariners could use a bat. I don't know if that happens. I think Cleveland would be a really fun fit for Joey Gallo. I keep saying that, and I mean Cleveland could use another bat. They could use another outfield bat. So I think Cleveland could be a dark horse in this scenario. And Joey Gallo is under control for another year as well. Joey Gallo is not a free agent until after next season, and he's not making like any money. Let me go pull up Joey Gallo here. He's going to cost you something. He is definitely going to cost you something. He has a good value. If we take a look at the Rangers as of right now, Joey Gallo has a value of $37.7 million. That's going to cost you something. So I think the Indians would be a really good fit. I mean, I know they're not really in it as of right now, but they're not doing too bad. They're 3.5 out of a wild card. I mean, hey, they're going to be rebranded next year. Add a Joey Gallo to the Cleveland Spiders or whatever they end up getting called. I mean, Joey Gallo, that's a name that you could market. I'm just saying, maybe try and get him signed up for a long-term deal. I don't know if the Indians would do that. They tend not to give out big deals, but I don't know. Something to consider. There's a lot of teams. I think the Yankees could make a lot of sense. They need a left-handed bat. If we go take a look elsewhere, I mean, could you maybe find a fit for Joey Gallo on the Blue Jays? I don't know. They seem pretty set if you ask me. I mean, I've seen some people suggest the Red Sox. I don't know about that. Maybe the Phillies. Could you do the Phillies? I don't know about that. They need more of a center fielder. They already have their corner outfielders in McCutchen and Harper. I don't know, the Rays. Could you see the Rays get involved? Maybe. They tend to like that type of hitter. They were connected with Gallo at last year's trade deadline. The Padres, they actually rank really well when it comes to left-handed hitting. If we take a look at the Padres, as of right now, the Padres, where are we at? Come on, San Diego. Fangraphs, you are killing me right now. We are live, and I am trying to present the San Diego Padres. There we go. Alrighty, so the Padres, as of right now, we're looking at Tommy Pham out in left. Tommy Pham's actually playing pretty good lately. I mean, you got Will Myers there, Trent Grisham. So I don't know if actually Gallo makes a lot of sense. I mean, how is Trent Grisham doing? I feel like he's doing all right. Yeah, he's doing all right. So I don't think you need to replace a Trent Grisham. But he's out in center field anyway. Actually, how is Will Myers doing? He was doing good last year. Will Myers is doing pretty good. He's fine. So, I don't know. I just feel like, Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham's actually doing pretty good, and I like what Tommy Pham brings in terms of speed. He's got 13 stolen bases. Tommy Pham's actually doing really good. I don't think the Padres need a Joey Gallo. I see other teams that could need him more. The Yankees, good fit. I mean, let me go look at the Blue Jays real quick. Let's get creative. Maybe could the Blue Jays find a fit for a Joey Gallo? Could you imagine Joey Gallo with the Blue Jays? I mean, probably not. I mean, they got Randall Grichuk out in right now. Who do they got on the IL? Huh. Interesting. I feel like, who am I missing here? You got Randall Grichuk in right, Springer center, Geary out. Where's Teoscar Hernandez? Oh, they got Teoscar at DH. Huh. Could the Blue Jays be a pretty good fit? Huh. Let me go. How is Grichuk doing? He's doing all right. Oh, wow. 17 home runs. I didn't know that. Why does he have a negative 4.8? So I see why Grichuk. Okay. So Grichuk, he has a lot of home runs and a good amount of RBIs, but his on base is really low. So I don't know. Could you do something like this? I feel like you don't need to add a Gallo, but good grief. Could you imagine Joey Gallo on the Blue Jays? I think that'd be really fun. But there are teams out there for Gallo. I think this guy could be a game changer. Another team to consider, the Chicago White Sox. I'm just saying, maybe the White Sox, they could use some power. They rank right now, when it comes to home runs, they rank 23rd. Joey Gallo with the White Sox, I think actually could make a lot of sense. They do pretty well in terms of lefty hitting as of right now. But, I mean, why not? Why not the Chicago White Sox? Could you imagine the White Sox with the Joey Gallo? Let's take a look. Their lineup as of right now, I mean, they have Brian Goodwin out in right. They are going to get Eloy Jimenez back eventually. But Brian Goodwin, they just got rid of Adam Eaton. I mean, Joey Gallo on the White Sox, I think could make a lot of sense. I mean, I did a trade earlier on baseball trade values. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Let's see. Where was it? Gallo on the White Sox. So actually, yeah, I did this trade here. I think this could actually make a lot of sense. Oh, why did I like that? But I think this trade right here could make a lot of sense. Joey Gallo on the White Sox for Dylan Cease and Luis Gonzalez, the number 10 prospect. I think this makes, the Rangers are getting a young pitcher, kind of like what they did with Lance Lynn and Dane Dunning. Get a Dylan Cease back to Texas. I think the White Sox could make up for trading away a Dylan Cease. They have enough starting pitching as it is. Add a Gallo for that lineup. I think this could be really good. The Rangers in return are getting a young starting pitcher. getting a decent prospect in return. I don't know. Maybe the White Sox can get involved. I don't know. Probably not, I'm guessing. But there are teams out there that could use a Joey Gallo. I think he would be huge for a lot of teams that need some offense, that need some home runs. So that's what I have to say about Joey Gallo. Let's go to number 1. So this guy for me is the clear-cut number 1 guy. This is the biggest game changer of them all. I think this guy, if you add him to your rotation, I think even if you're in the hunt or if you're a World Series contender, it completely changes the landscape. And at number 1, I have Max Scherzer. So Max Scherzer, the Nationals right there were looking like maybe they were bouncing back. But I don't know. Lately, the Nationals, they've not been doing too good. I didn't see the Nationals doing a lot this year. They could still do something. If we take a look, as of right now, the Nationals, they are 10 games back in the wild card, so they're more likely to go after the division, but they're 6 out right now, 6 games under 500. I just don't see the Nationals getting back into this. I think for Scherzer, there are a lot of teams that make sense for a Max Scherzer. I'm going to say right off the bat, I feel like right now, the San Diego Padres make the most sense. I think for the Padres, they are really trying to do this right now. They're trying to do it. They're trying to win it. And this starting pitching has been a little up and down lately. It's not been the best. If we take a look at where they rank in terms of starting pitching, as of right now, the Padres, they only rank 14th in starting pitching. It's middle of the road. If you had a Max Scherzer there, I think if you're the Padres, you got a real shot at winning the whole thing this year. I really think so. If we take a look, the Padres, as of right now, I mean, Yu Darvish, what's going on with Yu Darvish? I feel like he had something he had to pull out of the All-Star game. What was going on with him again? Let me go look at the update on him. Yeah, it was a hip thing. So he completed a bullpen session this past Saturday. Remains on track, so he is going to be starting. So he's looking to be good there. But Yu Darvish, hey, having a hip issue. But then again, Blake Snell has not been too good this year. Paddock has been kind of whatever. I mean, I think for Paddock, the FIP looks a lot better than that ERA. But I don't know, this San Diego Padres pitching, it's looking a little questionable. And if you got a Max Scherzer, if that's what it ends up being for the Padres, I mean, come on. And most likely, with Scott Boras mentioned this with a Max Scherzer. He was saying that for Max Scherzer, he's going to want more. He's not just going to want to get traded, but he wants to maybe get some kind of an extension. Could the Padres extend to Max Scherzer for a couple of years, and Max Scherzer can finish his career in San Diego, in sunny San Diego? I mean, what a year he's having. 7-4, 2.66 ERA through 17 games, a ton of strikeouts. I think he makes a lot of sense for the San Diego Padres. Let's go pull up the Padres. What would a trade look like for a Max Scherzer? Let's take a look here. Where are we at? The Nationals. And, for a Scherzer, he is making a pretty penny. If we go take a look at Max Scherzer's contract. Now, I don't know what the Padres are feeling about, in terms of the luxury tax, but they are pretty close to it. If they get a Scherzer and they don't take back and they don't get any cash with him, they're definitely going to go over that line. So as of right now, this year, he is making, I think it goes by the average salary for the luxury tax line. Or no, is it just, never mind, I take that back. But so the luxury tax salary is 28.7. So we're already halfway through the season. So we're looking at, 14 million that Max Scherzer is owed. So, we got another super chat coming in. Michael Yench, yes, trade Paddock for him. Oh, wow, man, Paddock, interesting. I mean, it's a young starting pitcher. Maybe you could trade a Paddock. Maybe. But I don't know. I wonder if they would want to keep Paddock for the depth. I mean, it's something to think about. But let's take a look here at what a trade would look like. So Scherzer, as of right now, as good as the guy has been this year, he doesn't have an incredibly high value because of the contract, because of his age. He's had some injury history. But, it's still a very respectable value. But a 13.7, that's not going to cost the Padres a lot. Funny thing with the Padres, if we take a look at the Padres as of right now, their farm system, that farm system isn't what you think it is, as of right now. If we take a look at the rankings, the Padres, they only rank 13th right now in farm systems. I know everyone thinks with the Padres, oh my God, their farm system is the best. Well, they unloaded a lot of that farm system this past winter. And going back to last trade deadline with Clevinger, they've unloaded a lot of guys. So the Padres, they still have a decent farm system, but it's very top heavy. So if we take a look at the Padres as of right now, if we take a look at their minor leaguers, you got Abrams, Hassel, and Gore. And after that, it really drops off. So it's going to be interesting. I wonder, hear me out on this one. I don't know. Just hear me out. I think a lot of you are going to think I'm absolutely crazy. I think a lot of you are going to think I'm crazy here. But give me 1 second here. So let's say the Nationals, they end up sending some cash. Let's say, I don't know, they send $5 million back. You're looking at $18.7 million worth of value. This might sound crazy, but could the Padres do a 1-for-1 and send back Mackenzie Gore? I know that might sound crazy because Mackenzie Gore is a top prospect, but he's having a really bad year in the minor leagues right now. I don't know. I think, could you just do this straight up? Scherzer for Mackenzie Gore. Probably not. I don't think that's what would happen, but I don't know. It's a little, the way Mackenzie Gore is pitching this year in the minor leagues, maybe the Padres get some value for him. Who knows? Who knows if Mackenzie Gore ends up falling off? Got to wait and see. But in this case, I think you could just do a 1-for-1. If, let's say, you didn't do any cash. Let me take that cash off. So let's take that. So if you're not doing any cash, you could still do this, honestly. You could still do it. But I don't know. It's very crazy to think. I think Nationals fans would love that. If you could get a top prospect like that for a Max Scherzer, holy cow, I think you would be okay with losing a Max Scherzer at that point. But let's say it's not Gore. You would have to do a bunch of, or maybe someone on the major league level. You could do maybe someone like a Morahan. He has Tommy John right now. The Nationals have not been afraid of taking guys who have needed Tommy John. They drafted Lucas Giolito at one point. When they drafted him, he needed Tommy John. So maybe you could take back a Morahan. He's very young. He's 21 years old, 22 years old. So maybe a Morahan and maybe like something else to go along with it. I don't know if Nationals fans would like that too much. Maybe someone like a Mears. Mears right now is he's the number 9 prospect. So maybe something like this. Maybe one more guy to go along with it. Mears and let's say, I don't know, like an Aquino. Aquino is... where is Aquino? Aquino, where are you? Am I just completely missing him? Why is he not here? Okay, not Aquino then. Maybe let's do, I don't know, maybe Mason Thompson. Let's do Mason Thompson. So maybe something like that. could get it done. I don't know. That doesn't look as pretty of a package than just a Mackenzie Gore. But I mean, the Padres could get something done here. They definitely could. Whether if it's a Mackenzie Gore, a Morejon, I had earlier, the super chat earlier said maybe Paddock. I don't know about that. I believe Paddock still has a very good value. So let me pull up Paddock. Let me go to... Yeah, Paddock has a very good value. I don't see this getting done. Let me take off Morejon. So, I mean, that is a big overpay. Because the reason this is an overpay is because Paddock is a young guy who has a lot of control. He had that one good year, and he had a good rookie season. He has a good FIP. That's one thing to consider with Paddock. He has a 3.94 FIP, good amount of strikeouts. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. He doesn't give up a lot of home runs. There's still a lot to like with a Chris Paddock. So I don't see this happening because I just don't. I mean, I think if you're a Nationals fan, you would love that. But I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to stick to my guns a little bit here. I'm going to say Gore. I mean, you want to get a deal done. If you're the Padres, you've been making trades left and right. Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Clevinger last year. You want to go broke? Here you go. Give up Mackenzie Gore for a Max Scherzer, and I think maybe you go for it. If you had a Max Scherzer, I think the Padres are instant World Series favorites. I think they would be more of a favorite than the Dodgers, or at least they would be right there with them. I think you could get something done here. And if the Nationals paid off some of that contract, maybe that could bring the trade a little closer. So, yes, Tommy Sofka, I did say that. Max Scherzer, at one point, I thought made a lot of sense for the St. Louis Cardinals. And he does. He would make some sense. He definitely could go to the Cardinals. So let me actually pull up a trade here for the Cardinals. So the Cardinals do need some starting pitching. So I could see Max Scherzer wanting to, sign an extension with St. Louis. That's his hometown. Finish off his career in St. Louis. I could see that. And if he were to do that, well then, the Cardinals would have him for next year. So I could see this. Now the Cardinals could definitely get something done. If we take a look, St. Louis Cardinals. So the Cardinals are, they're not in a good spot right now. They're fourth in the division. They're 9 back. They've won a couple in a row. So, I don't know. St. Louis would be interesting. I mean, again, you would look to maybe signing him to a long-term extension, 2-3 years. And then I think you could get something done at that point. So, for the Cardinals, what would they have to give up? I would imagine probably something like a Zach Thompson. Let's go Zach Thompson here. I don't think they give up any of their top 3. Ivan Herrera, no. Definitely not Liberatore. Definitely not Gorman. So, Gorman, yeah, not Gorman. Not Liberatore. Definitely not Herrera. Herrera's got a good value, too. So, no one in the top 3. I could see a Thompson. I could see something like that. I mean, honestly, could you maybe do... I don't know. Michael Bliss has just subscribed. Hello, my friend. Hello. So, I mean, I don't know. Probably not DeYoung. I don't see why DeYoung would be helpful. Oh, the Yankees have gone deep again. It is a 9-1 lead for the New York Yankees. My Red Sox are getting pummeled right now. Yankee fans, you got to be feeling pretty good tonight. I'm just saying. Hey, if the Yankees end up winning a wild card, I'm just gonna say I told you so. So, anyway, King Seahawk has just subscribed. Hello, my friend. But yeah. So could you do a 3-for-1? I could maybe see. So right now, going back to the prospects, let's see who is another guy here. Could you maybe do someone like a Nunez? So Nunez, that was a first baseman. Where does he rank? Okay, Malcolm Nunez, the number 13. And then you'd probably looking at maybe like one more guy. One or two more probably. Maybe a Mason Wynn. It's a slight overpay, a moderate overpay, but maybe something like this gets it done. I don't know. That's right around what I think could be a pretty decent trade, or pretty decent fit for both teams. You know, it's a bit of an overpay. So I could see something like this for the Cardinals, possibly. Some other teams that could use some starting pitching. I've already gone through some teams tonight of teams that could use some starting pitching. I mean, there's a lot of teams. I don't think the Yankees do it. I could see St. Louis doing it. Maybe the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays would be a really fun fit. I think the Blue Jays are going to have to get a little closer. So let's go type in the Blue Jays here. So Scherzer. Could you imagine playoff baseball with Toronto and Max Scherzer in a wild card game or starting game one? That'd be nuts, man. The Blue Jays. They definitely have the prospects to be able to get it done. Right now, the Blue Jays, their farm system ranks second in baseball. The Blue Jays are doing really good with that farm system. They got a bright future. The Blue Jays, what prospects could you see with the Toronto Blue Jays? About to say, I thought the Yankees just hit another home run. The Blue Jays definitely could get something done. So let's take a look. Probably not Groshans. You wouldn't have to do a Groshans. You wouldn't even have to do a Woods Richardson, probably. You could do a Geraldo. And who else? Geraldo is the number 7. Could you do maybe like someone like a Gabriel Moreno? Actually, I feel like that might be too much. Moreno. Oh, yeah. Definitely not Moreno. Definitely not. Could you do... I think I said Lopez. No, that's Otto Lopez. No, I meant to say Martinez. Where is Martinez on here? Martinez has a value of... Not seeing Martinez. There. Oh, yeah. Martinez definitely not. 26.6. Could you do a Lopez? And maybe someone else? Actually... Oh, you know what? That's actually very close. Maybe one more guy here. Maybe like a Van Eyck. And maybe something like that gets it done. If you're the Blue Jays, I mean, I think the Blue Jays could go for a Scherzer. I think that could make some sense. So, hey, Storm, you know, it's funny. Storm Watchman in the chat, you're saying, is it me or is the stream blurry? I'm not sure if you mean the whole screen or if you mean my little window, but I just did pick up a lens. So hopefully my picture is going to look a little more clear. So, hey, keep an eye out for that. But I apologize that the stream is looking a little blurry. Maybe try some different settings if it's the entire thing. So, but yeah, I think there's a lot of teams here. You could do the Blue Jays. You could do Hans Isdell has subscribed. Welcome to the channel, my friend. So you could definitely do the Blue Jays. You could definitely do the Cardinals. I mean, a lot of teams could go for some starting pitching. Personally, I think the team that has the most to gain from a Max Scherzer are the San Diego Padres. I just think that's the team. They've been making moves left and right. If you really want to go win a World Series, go make that one last trade for this guy. Max Scherzer, I definitely could see it. Absolutely for Padres. I could definitely see the Cardinals. I could definitely see the Blue Jays. Chase, do I expect the Rays to make any moves? I feel like with the Rays, you're going to end up seeing them making some kind of a small move. I would really love the Rays to go get a starting pitcher. I definitely don't think Max Scherzer is going to be at Ray, but maybe someone like a Kyle Gibson, a Jose Berrios. I could see them going for someone that's under control for next year. I definitely think that. So look out for the Rays to go out for something like that. I don't think Max Scherzer would be a good fit. I don't see the Rays doing that. But Max Scherzer, to me, is the number one guy at the trade deadline this year. I think he is a game changer. I think if he goes to a playoff team, he makes them a World Series contender. I think if you go to a team that's in the hunt for a playoff spot, he helps you get there. Max Scherzer, to me, this is a guy, he's having a heck of a year. Max Scherzer, he's won a World Series. This guy's a winner. I definitely think, to me, this is the number one guy out there for the trade deadline this year. But everyone, I'm going to get out of here. We have had a lot of success tonight. We are almost at 10,500 subscribers. We're on the road to 11,000. Everyone, I want to thank you so much for coming out tonight. Hey, good night, talking some trade deadline. And everyone, once again, trade deadline, July 30th. I will be here at noon to go over all the rumors, to go over everything that day. Everyone, I'm going to be making as much content as I can for the trade deadline over the next week and a half. So definitely stay tuned. I appreciate all the new subscribers. I appreciate all the super chats tonight. I appreciate everyone for just coming out and talking some baseball tonight. So everyone, I want to thank you so much. I hope you have a very good week ahead and have yourself a good night. And I'll talk to you next time.